way with champion select here, I'm really looking out for where can Vivocade find playmaking. Trajan, you said, what do they need to do in the early game? I think sometimes they hyperfixate on their lanes, hyperfixate on Guigo. I want to see them be able to play together as a team early on and set up set pieces.
We'll see if that top lane has something new to show us. Take it away, Yeso and Hawk. Let's see if these drafts can stay interesting. We've had a couple of very spicy ones for the last 2 games, but the REB one does not give me a lot of hope. Take it away.
Much less of a focus, we should note, in these first ban phases today on support in jungle. We've seen a couple of Milios coming through, but that Enchanter trio is becoming more available, and also the Maokai not hitting the ban table nearly as much as we saw in the first 2 weeks, so that is very important to note here. Ahri, though, is the first pick for Los Grandes as that Aphelios that you would certainly expect them to grab, being one taken off the table by VKS.
Yeah, Maokai falling a bit out of favor as the meta has sped up and a lot of OPs on the board. One of them being the Ivern. We're going to get it here, Yeso. First one coming out. It's been cropping up as it is extremely strong globally. You can go Night Harvester for the Daisy 1v9 build, or you can go for a more classic supportive build, the prop up Trigo. We were looking at Grell to be the big playmaker. Well, while Ivern may not be a big playmaker in his own right, he's definitely a facilitator for something explosive like a Kai'Sa.
So the big question for me, we've talked so much about how important the early game is, how Grell getting things going on the top side of the map is for VKS. Does that Ivern facilitate that in the first 15 minutes of the game?
Not really. I mean, it's skirmishing after 6 is shockingly strong if you're getting beat on by Daisy after the last round of buffs. So that is something we need to look out for, but it's not the biggest playmaker. So I'm really looking at support for damage. Rel still up on the board. Other things like Nautilus here and available. Pairing with the Kai'Sa, I need to see an engaged support here, I think, for Vivocade. Otherwise, I'm going to be very concerned about how they start fights. As I said earlier, Gigo is not going to pick a tank. This guy is going to play a carry, especially now that Renekton is showing. Maybe Los Grandes daring Gigo to pick top lane on R3 so they can ban out some of those engaged supports.
Important to note, especially if you watch last game, this Kai'Sa is a flex pick. Can go mid, can go bot.
True.
Also flexible. In terms of build path, I believe, Hawk, the AP variant with that static shift, really getting all the value out of that, is the most popular right now, but you still can go for an 80 build, so some options there for Trigo, or, important to note, Grevthar. That is going to be the Jax counter pick into the Renekton on R3. What are your thoughts there? I know you weren't a big fan of the Jax from this game.
Yeah, we just saw a very useful Jax TM last game coming out on R5. I don't hate it as much this game into the Renekton. I think it's a better matchup. My big problem, though, is, again, Vivocade, they're lacking that playmaking. They've got carry potential. They've got utility from the Ivern. But I need to see some initiation locked in for this comp. Because right now, Los, there's no shortage of playmaking on their side. Ahri, Sejuani, Renekton, what they need is that same carry potential that Vivocade has. So, bit of a different look for both teams so far in the draft. Things up and available, like the Zeri that Los Grandes could go for in the second half that would provide them all the carry potential that they need.
Okay, I have to ask maybe a stupid question here. That's a Wukong ban with the Ivern up. How flexible is this Ivern?
You know, if it goes support, we'll be learning together. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say.
I just saw that. I was like, wait a second. What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. It maybe like it's Ivern mid-tech, the LS strat. Who knows, man? We'll see. It also could just be like an errant ban. Maybe they forgot what Ivern does because who the hell has played against this champion in the last 5 years? So I don't know.
That is a fair point. Heavy focus
towards
the
the ban too.
Here.
They think maybe they know something we don't about solo queue win rates or something, because that's a Kindred ban. And now with the Neela hover, I don't want to talk too much about hovers, but it could be something crazy like Ivern Neela bot with Kai'Sa mid.
Lot of options to move some of these picks around. Los focusing that jungle in the second ban phase. The hover isn't going to stay around, and there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Comes through, so it looks like this is not an Ivern in the jungle. We will learn together here today, Hawk. Wonderful. So now talk to me. What do you see here?
And now there's legitimate flexibility as well. This Ivern, I still think Ivern and Kaisa could both go mid or bot. Like, I'm not sure where everything's going, but Vivocade, I mean, it's not a ton of playmaking, but it is something that is more Grell-esque to me. Something with individual agency, which we so highlighted in the pregame as being critical. But I love this adaptation from Los Grandes. They have said, okay, you guys are going to play some like kind of weird cheesy stuff with this Ivern support mid, whatever it is. We're just going to go Samira. We're going to fully index into skirmishing and try to blow you out of the water pre-15.
Man, and this is certainly, you know, the kind of pick that you can hard carry on here for Natuna. That Samira can become a big problem in the team fights when you get the sustain under your belt. And it's now possibly that we're not a hover here, so it could be that Ivern in the mid lane, flexing between a bunch of different engage-heavy supports here for VKS. What will the choice be here for damage? As it is the Nautilus paired alongside that Samira for Los Grandes in the bottom lane, and that is it. There's the Leona.
All right, I like the Leona a lot for Vivocade Stars. It gets that engage support that I wanted earlier on. Also has a favorable matchup into the Nautilus and the Samira. Very, very good pick for damage. I think this is a favorable bot side 2v2 for Vivocade based on the support pick. However, we know how explosive Natuno can be. And Ranger, hey, I was critical of you in the pregame. It is time to step up. But on the other side, Vivocade, this top side is very, very unorthodox. And they're going up against a skirmish-heavy Renekton Ahri. Let's see if Los Grandes can punish Grell and Trigo on these wackier sort of drafts.
We've got a few interesting drafts here today. The Nila, Belveth bottom lane. We're getting the Ivern flexed into mid, and of course this Kaisa coming to prominence with how strong the static shift is, as well as some of these premier AD carries taking some hits. Very much looking forward to seeing Trigo on that pick. We'll welcome Trajan back in real quick here as we get ready to jump into game number 4. Trajan, what's going on?
Obviously, I don't know what's going on. I'll be quite honest. But I will say, despite all of the zaniness that is going on in VKS, the one thing that really draws my eye is the Samira for Natuno. If we're talking Natuno show, I'm thinking Samira, man. I'm thinking the Devil May Cry character, the one that pops off, kills everybody, goes nuts, and completely steals the show. So I'm excited for what Loss has put together, but for VKS, I can't really be excited or disappointed or anything, because I don't know how it's going to work. So I guess we'll find out. But for you, Hawk, in terms of the rest of Loss's draft, we did see Bowl back up to that Renekton right into the Jax matchup. So at least he's not on the tank duty, not on the full weak side duty necessarily.
Yeah, I think the Renekton into Jax is fine, right? It was exactly what I wanted. Just pick something that can neutralize on the top side. But Trajan, we're on to the Rift for this game 4 of the day. I love how you said it. We have no idea how Vivocade's composition is going to work. But as we get into this early game, I really want to highlight the importance of this mid matchup. Ivern into the Ahri. I would expect Lava to be able to get early shove into the Ivern, but once Daisy comes online, Ivern can push back very effectively. And yeah, so we highlighted the importance of Grell for Vivocade. So if Grevthar is not able to get involved on this Ivern, it could be very difficult for this team.
Whoa.
Yeah, definitely going to be very important for this Diego in the early game for VKS, and paired up with Grevthar's Ivern. I'm very curious to see how things play out. I want to talk to you, Hawk, a little bit about Lava. This is a player that I had some question marks about coming into this split with the changes that Los Grandes made to their roster. We know what we're going to get from Natuno, and we were curious about Ranger, but I'm wondering, I feel like Lava has been decent so far from this split. What have you seen from him through 4 games?
I'm right there with you. I think this is a continuation of last split where Lava has, across the board, been pretty good, but not fantastic for the side of Los Grandes. I think they were hoping for fantastic, but you can't complain too much with pretty good at the same time. But he's got to step up here on this Ahri Ivern matchup. Probably something he's not particularly comfortable with. Mid matchup, obviously going to be an important one, but yeah, so of course, Samira against Kaisa, Natuno against Trigo. This is going to be a really big one because none of this is going to matter at all if Natuno gets rolling on the Samira pick.
I am such personally a huge fan of this bot laner matchup here. Like, these are just AD carries that bring so much excitement into a game. For years, we've heard people, when we get into those Kaisa Zaya metas, people complain, and I'm over here like, what? These are two, like, AD carries with aggression and playmaking in their kits. Like, how do you not love this? And I look at Kaisa and Samira, and I see a whole lot of that. Opportunities for aggression, opportunities to make plays and pop off, and I think we're going to get that between these two bottom laners as this game continues.
I like this already. Grevthar getting a ward down, being able to support Grell. Both junglers are pathing towards this bottom side. So recognizing naturally that this is going to be the Armageddon lane, as I so love to call it, where the entire game will be decided. And so Grell using that information to try to play a bit aggressively and look to just force an L out. This was already answering one question we had for Vivocade. Would Grell give over a random kill in the first 3 minutes? The answer is no.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of holes you could poke in Grell's game from last week. Really a tough showing from BKS, but now getting down to the bottom lane, that dredge lane gonna miss from Ranger, so the BKS bottom lane, very, very safe. I want to go back to this last week. We already touched on that both of these teams had the O2. Important to note that both of Payne's wins from last week were against each of these teams respectively. What stood out to you from Los Grandes and VKS a week ago?
Hold that thought. We might have a bit of a scrap in the river as Grell's trying to take away this crab. Has the smite. Just smite it, my friend.
He doesn't want to. He maybe wants to go for the fight there. Isn't going to get the stun, and Anel is going to get in there. The roam on its way.
Oh, great hook.
Dredge line. Grevthar's in trouble. Has to flash out. It's burning from the ignite. Might go down, but it's actually first blood there from Trigo. The roam for the BKS bottom lane has turned it around. Anel will fall. Grell setting things up there. Natuno coming in and looking for something. Is able to take down Grevthar, but will die in turn. Trigo's going to get another kill. It's just blood all over the rift.
We wanted to see Vivocade be the ones to get early kills, and how about 4 at 4 minutes, baby, as Grell and Grevthar link up and play that beautifully. And guess who got all the gold? It's the players that need it the most. Grell as the mid-game bridge, and Trigo being the late-game carry.
Very chaotic fight there. A lot of the CC not quite landing early, and it turns out to be in favor of VKS. Grevthar walking very fine line there on the Ivern, supporting his jungler, and it turns this fight. Let's take a look at this replay. It all starts Grell going for the Scuttle Crab. You were asking for the smite. He doesn't go for it, and Anel goes in.
Well, you were asking me what I liked about these teams in the first week. Well, it's this from Vivocade, picking intelligent fights early on. It looks bad at the start because Grell and Grevthar get so low, but Trigo is there before Natuno. So even though the Samira arrives late and is able to clean up the kill, the damage is already done. The skirmish power of the Ivern Viego of all champions is way too strong. And Vivocade, they get it done just as they did in week 1.
Very well played there, and a great point by you to highlight that Grell and Trigo are the ones that really benefit from that fight. They both get a nice infusion of gold here 5 minutes into this game, and man, Trigo, I don't know that you can ask to be in a better position 6 minutes in, because this Kai'Sa's in a wonderful spot.
Now, Ranger did retain his flash. Trigo not having that one available. Los Grandes, they want to set up a play to punish, but Grell, a brilliant cover, sacrificing the camps to make sure he's here, so no kill will be able to go down, and Vivocade might even be able to take this. Grevthar's first move if he wants to come.
Yeah, Grell going to be able to dash away from trouble. A lot of damage on the decision lane. Looks like Damage wants to get in there.
Ooh, Ranger!
But they're going to be able to get out of trouble for the tie, being Natuno able to walk away, but they're going to get on top of Ranger and take him down, kill credit the Damage, but they do turn it around, shut down for Lava as Trigo will fall. Damage very low, has to deal with this Ahri, has the teammates in tow. He's going to be the double kill from Lava, does get over the wall and into the tri-brush here. Is it going to be able to get off this recall? The question is,
Trigo's coming too.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's dead, he's dead.
And Grevthar are here. It's just who's going to get the kill credit.
There you go.
Trigo has arrived. It's going to be Grevthar taking that one onto Lava. Hawk, we've had some very slow early games today,
I know,
right? Last game, I believe it was 10 minutes when First Blood came through. For our first game of the day, we had to wait 14 minutes. we've got 10 kills in 7 minutes, huh?
This game is just a complete bloodbath, and I'll break it down in the replay. All that matters is that Vivocade is unbelievably fed. Look at Grell at the top of the gold chart. 80 carries are surprisingly close, but overall, Vivocade, they've got themselves a nice 1.5 thousand gold lead. And if these skirmishes have already been going awry, try Herald spawning in just 40 seconds when a 3-0-4 Viego is going to be rocking up to the club.
Yeah, something tells me Los Grandes might be a little hesitant to contest Grell at these neutral objectives, but who knows? Meanwhile, bottom lane, damage getting in onto Ranger. Good help there from Trigo, but it looks like Los Grandes wants the fight. Damage staying too long. Natuno's going to get the kill in the 2v2. Do they stay longer? Natuno with the ultimate. It's the double kill for the Samira.
Uh-oh, that's a little bit of a mistake from the Vivocade bot lane, giving over two, getting a little too big for their britches right now, and you can see Natuno, he's smiling, he's having a good time. We said that Los Grandes would be the Natuno show up against the Grell show of Vivocade. Well, now both the shows are coming online. Act 1 has concluded. Let's see who comes out after the intermission.
It's very important to note that we were talking about that gold infusion that Trigo got thanks to that early skirmish that went so heavily in favor of VKS. But despite that, before that bot lane 2v2, they were essentially dead even in gold, and now Natuno gets a double kill, and as you know, comes back to lane with a Duskblade.
Yeah, before the Herald as well. If anyone doesn't know, there's an interaction right now. Oh, hang on, we're fighting again. Screw the interaction, let's just go for it.
Yeah, Grell gonna get in on top of Ranger. Ranger goes to buy some time, and that's gonna be the Sejuani ultimate, and they have shut down Grell's Viego. Huge charm there, lands on a damage, has to flash out of trouble. Gremthor trying to keep him alive. It's not enough. Lava with his third kill of the game.
And just like that, we're getting the other side of Grell that we saw in week 2. Overextension after overextension, going way too deep and giving up a shutdown over to Lava. As I was saying about the Samira Duskblade interaction, there's one right now where once you get your first reset, you go untargetable, but hey, your ult still goes, so you're just invincible ulting as Samira. It's super broken. It's getting patched out in 13.13, but we're not there yet, which means Natuno is damn strong on the Samira. And hey, remember that 1.5 thousand gold lead for Vivocade? It's completely gone. In fact, Los Grandes, they're up 500 as the Seesaw does not, or continues, I should say, to keep swinging.
Man, and so much invested just to try and take down Ranger there, and Ranger sitting on the stopwatch says, hey, please, like, blow ultimates to try and kill me here. I know I'm squishy, but I'm just going to stall, and my entire team is ready to come in and pick up these kills. And this game very quickly, as you mentioned, Seesaw turning right back on its head. We're very close to even in terms of gold, even in kills, and I think something tells me Ranger's calling a lot of the shots here early game, which should surprise nobody because he has had NL just hard camping, pitching a tent in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Ranger, I think, has made a couple of mistakes to give over those 2 deaths, but 100% KP, only one on his team. So credit where credit's due. Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, as it were. As I like this from Vivocade. This is exactly what I want to see. Start taking intelligent fights. When you've got the Ivern, you're stronger together. Shut down individual members and use the high single target damage and lockdown potential that you have. Don't split yourselves up and allow Los Grandes to run you down. So good dragon take comes through from the team. It's still a very close game despite some of the mistakes that, I mean, quite frankly, so we've seen from both sides.
Certainly. I want to, as Grell lands a little bit of CC there, here's the Daisy 1v9 that you were talking about, punishing Lava in the mid lane. I want to go check in on a lane that we really have had nothing to say about through the first 11 minutes, and rightfully so. Let's look at this top lane.
They're 0-0-0. Do they even matter?
I know.
Like, they're off there, like, sipping their smoothies on top lane island, you know?
I guess my question is like, we know what Renekton brings to the table.
Yeah.
Right? This is so often a pick that we talk about, you know, building those early game lane kingdoms, and so often for years it's been paired up with things like the Nidalee and other picks that can dive top lane early and punish these picks. Is it concerning to you at all that Bull has essentially been invisible through 11 minutes, or is this okay considering the matchup and what's going on elsewhere on the map?
I think it's fine. I think Bull picked that, honestly, to be invisible for 11 minutes. He's lucky that the camera hasn't panned top lane to Gigo solo killing him. So, I mean, like,
sure.
we take those, right? You blind picked it, you know, hey, I'm just going to pick this to be functional in team fights, which the Renekton will be. And the thing about the Jax is it will outscale the Renekton one-on-one, but it's going to struggle to function in team fights a lot against Los Grandes' hyper-mobile draft. So I think it really does need to be that split-pushing threat, which, while it will be impactful, as long as Bull can hold his own as he has, then it should be fine as we see a fight in mid.
Yeah, VKS pushing forward to try and stop this Rift Herald. Damage is going to get caught out as a result, and it's all going wrong.
It's
a double kill for Natuno on the Samira. He is going to get taken out in turn as Gigo has arrived, but what a fight from Los Grandes.
Oh my word! What even was that? A 3-2 for 2 at the end of it. I do believe maybe 3 for Los Grandes as Gigo was able to TP in and clean it up, but that's the Samira Duskblade interaction for you right there, Yeso diving under the tower with the twirly-whirly, spinning around, shooting and slashing everybody.
The twirly-whirly, can we just change the Samira ultimate to that? I would love
absolutely.
to see
Yeah.
it. I'm completely on board. Hey, look! It's top lane.
Oh, I think this is the first time we've seen that part of the map this game. Look at the weather's nice up there this time of year, I think.
Let's go through this replay though. Because they step forward, they want to stop this Rift Herald, and El says, okay, sure, we'll just engage.
Yeah, I mean, another great hook from Ranger to get the initial pick, and now things start to break down. Trico, I like the ult in, out of the Samira ult to be able to pick off Ranger, but the real story is Natuno diving under the tower, and he would have gotten away for it too if it wasn't for that meddling Jax on the other side. So, I mean, Vivocade, they have let things get a little out of hand. That time bomb might have already gone boom.
Yeah, 5, 2, and 4 on this Samira, and Los has been very happy to invest resources in this bottom lane. That first fight went badly for them, but they clawed their way back for sure over the last 8 minutes or so. 14 minutes in. Important to note, those Unleashed teleports are online, though, on cooldown for Bull and Giga. We saw that in that last fight. Even in terms of plates for both of these teams, but keep an eye, less than a minute until this next Rift Herald spawns, just over a minute until the next Drake. And something tells me with the scrappiness we've seen so far, Hawk, these teams are going to want to fight for one of them.
And more sharks circling the bottom lane. The waters are chummed up for the junglers, even Bull gonna make his way down. But as we have just a little bit of downtime, Yeso, I want to talk about this Ivern pick, because we talked about how it would do into the Ahri, and Grevthar able to move first to a lot of these plays, get to the skirmishes and support Grell. But in some of these more team fight-esque looking things with everyone diving in on top of each other at the same time, I feel like the Ivern hasn't been able to provide enough safety to outvalue the pick potential and the damage of something like this Ahri. So I've got to be honest, I don't know if I'm sold on this one so far. I think Vivocade may be playing a little too fast and loose for this pick.
Also important to note, you were highlighting as soon as it got picked and drafted, there's a couple of different pathways you can go with the Ivern in terms of build. You can go that Night Harvester, go for that Daisy 1v9. That hasn't been the choice here for Grevthar, focusing more on that support Enchanter build for the time being. So Grevthar really looking to prop up Grell and Trigo, whose game started off so well. Rift Herald has been started here by Los Grandes. It looks like VKS, they might give it up. They're crashing a wave in the mid lane, though. Lava here to clear it out. So it looks like that's just a free Rift Herald for Los Grandes. VKS maybe going to trade the Drake here, but Los can respond.
That was really intelligent macro from Los Grandes. Lava invested the teleport to deny Vivocade's mid-tower trade, so they get to have the Herald, and they keep their tower alive. So now Vivocade, they feel pressured to make a play to not give over both major neutral objectives on the map for free. But Herald going down means that this is another Los Grandes favored sequence. Really quality League of Legends right now from the blue team.
Yeah, hey, we talked about it coming into this split. Despite maybe some of the doubts we had about Ranger going to support from a mechanical perspective, he was still going to have the shot calling. The engage goes forward. The Jax is down. That's a kill over to Bull. Meanwhile, damage getting into the back line. And the Sarima is the Samira is dead. It's Grell and a double kill for the Viego. And El and Lava have to run, but can they escape? The Dragon with the assist. The Ahri is not going to survive. It's a triple kill for the Viego, and BKS are back.
Live and die by Grell once again. 4 for 1 in the fight. Second dragon to their name as Grell took down the hyper carry of Natuno. Let's take another look as Guigo honestly just jumps the gun. Damage is trying to set up for a flank as the Jax just jumps in what is essentially a 4v5. But Natuno gets a little too big for his britches, hooked up by the Zenith Blade into the shutdown, and as the Samira, Grell cleans them right off the map.
And very key that you do see the Samira ultimate go off, but Natuno dies essentially right away, so they don't get any big value out of that Samira in that team
Look
fight.
at it.
Very
Look
well
at Grefthar.
timed.
He's happy. He's waving them goodbye after that fight. Oh my word. These teams, I mean, that goes to show. We talk about the CBLOL diff here all the time, Yeso. This game has embodied that to the fullest extent. These two teams, nothing held back so far, 18 minutes in.
So let's take an opportunity to take stock here because we've got a couple of minutes before any neutral objectives are back up that both of these teams, of course, have been very willing to fight over. It is a 2 Drake to nothing lead for VKS, essentially dead even in gold. What are you looking for from both of these teams over the next 5-minute talk to set themselves up for success?
So Los Grandes continue looking for picks, right? You've got the Nautilus, you've got the Sejuani, and Vivocade, they've left them open for you quite a bit this game. No one can really survive if they get jumped on top of initially. Vivocade, though, they can continue to spread out the map and look for trades. Their Jax in a side lane starting to come online, and Grell, likewise, has been very strong consistently. If you're able to find somebody out on rotation, it's really going to be all about how these teams move around the Rip together. I was praising Los Grandes for their macro rotations around that Herald. It was Vivocade that executed in the team fight. But if Los Grandes can continue those sort of clean moves, they should be able to eke out marginal advantages.
It's also going to be so important for VKS to be able to shut down Natuno in these team fights. If he can stack up his passive and get those ultimates off onto multiple members of Cade Stars, they're seriously going to have some problems in these team fights. So keep an eye on Natuno as Los Grandes set up to clear out a tower in the bottom.
This is ambitious.
The dive topside here. Gigo and Damage combining there. Wow. They're going to get the kill.
That was actually very well played, and Grell able to base and cover Grefthar as well. Vivocade executing very nicely in the fights when I think they're getting out-rotated by Los Grandes. I love the 4-man stack bottom to look for a pick and force on this tower. As we mentioned, singular members of Vivocade not able to stand up, but Vivocade, very quick response to actually win out in the exchange by trading the tower as well as a kill.
Cade Stars finally getting their first tower on the board thanks to Gigo and that dive in the top lane. Important to note, did cost Damage his flash because one more tower shot would have likely taken down the Leona and made it a 1-for-1 trade. So Bull at least getting a little bit of value out of that investment that VKS made in the top lane. Now, looks like VKS starting to set up vision around this Baron. We're at that 20-minute mark, so a very key neutral objective is live on the map.
And you mentioned summoner spells as well. Natuno having the flash back up and available, did not have it for that dragon fight, just the cleanse. So CO is able to utilize that either aggressively or defensively, preferably to dodge out on CC above anything to find a big fight. But this is exactly what I wanted. Vivocade, spread out the map, play around your strong split pusher, and don't leave the door open for any picks. Get in their second tower.
And this is the one good thing about, why Gigo's probably happy for that lane to be so isolated early on here as Damage has to run away, waiting for that charm. The Zenith Blade going to come through. They're just going to take him out. It doesn't matter. Another kill there. Natuno, his 6th of the game.
Both teams playing to their win condition. Vivocade, they're able to spread out the map and take a tower, but leaving the door open for a pick for Los Grandes to find a lot of damage onto their jungler, as well as support getting taken down. And while we're at it, I want to bring this up. Ranger still at 100% KP, but Trigo on the other side also having a lot of kill participation on the Xayah, 10 to his name. Both bottom lanes stepping up big time when we thought they might not be the biggest factors in this game, Yeso.
Yeah, and specifically Kate Stars, because we talked about, right, it's the Neutrino show for Los Grandes. That's not a surprise. But Trigo and Damage, we mentioned at the top, they get isolated a lot, right? Not a lot of resources invested in them in the early game, but Los said, hey, we'll fight in the bot lane river long enough for your bot laner to roam up here. We'll see what happens.
Reset. Okay, they're still going to get it. Wow, I thought the Dragon reset would leave the door open for Los Grandes. However, it is secured. They want to try to fade towards this Baron or maybe even just play on the mid wave. They've got the inside track. Vivo Cade has to be very careful walking through a Sejuani. Renekton looking for the flank as well.
Damage stepping forward, wants to eat any of that hard crowd control up front if he can. Leave his carries safe to fight away when this team fight kicks off. Okay.
Well played, Vivo Cade. They muscled their way through. Together strong, right? Don't let anyone get picked.
A lot of damage there initially on Gigo, and he's going to go down. First kill over to Los Grandes, and that tower very low. Does VKS want to fight back? They're thinking about it, but they're
tanking.
Biding their time. A lot of damage on Lava. The Ahri has to back away. Does VKS go in here? Trigo dashing forward, looking to get into this fight. Knock up there from Ranger. Hook's going to go through. It's just going to be Ranger going to his death. It's a killing spree for Trigo.
I don't know if Ranger needed to do that. Maybe a bit of a heroic sacrifice right there. Hey, boys, get yourselves out. I'm going in. Ends up going down nonetheless, and now a Baron Star potentially on the cards. Gigo has the teleport available. Bull has his to get into the fight, and Natuno yet to base. But this is getting melted. It's going to be a Kate Stars Baron, Yeso.
Yeah, it's going to go down. The teleport comes through, but they can't even respond. It gets burned down because Trigo and Grell are so strong. 23.5 minutes in. VKS, they lose that mid lane tier 2, and they lose one of their teammates, but they get a Baron in turn. That's a pretty good play.
Most certainly is. Los Grandes had to take that base after getting chunked out so low. Ranger sacrificing himself for the cause to get them out, but they weren't fast enough. Vivo Cade perfectly recognizing their breakpoints. Ever aggressive, despite the mistakes this game. It feels like more shots that they've taken have worked than haven't. Maybe taking the Wayne Gretzky version school of thought, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Sure, there's been some misses, but they've also scored a hell of a lot of times this game. 15 times, to be exact. Not even counting the Baron and the Dragon. Soul Point, Baron in hand. See if they can balloon this gold advantage and look to close this one out. Stay together. Don't get picked.
I thought that was a Michael Scott quote, wasn't it? Or was
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Michael Scott did say that, yeah.
Grevthar, important to note, using his TP to get to this mid lane, didn't want to play for the flank, wanted to group up with his team. This is going to be Gigo buying a lot of time, a lot of damage on the Razor initially, and he's going to go down the kill there to Gigo, but that's Bull getting onto the backside. Trigo's in trouble. It's a double kill, though, for the Jack. The Trigo takes down Bull. It's the 4-0 for BKS.
Really nicely played. Gigo has gotten shut down in a lot of these fights, but this time around, able to get in there and stun up Ranger, and as Natuno tries to support, the crowd control chain from Vivo Cade is way too oppressive. And now, their health bars may be chunked. Before V1 on the map, I don't think the death timers are long enough. It's going to be an inhibitor, the Kate Stars.
Should be. That's going to be a lot of crowd control here onto NL. He's going to go down damage. Picking up the kill credit. The inhibitor tower will fall. The inhibitor quickly afterwards. Important to know how long do you stay. Ranger, Natuno, Lava are up. Bull about to return here as well. Maybe Eyes on a second inhibitor, but I think Gigo's going to have to back away. Trico and Grell get out.
Do they, though? Lava sitting on the flank, hunting. Gigo very low as well. Grevthar coming to support. And I think everybody will end up slinking away. We wanted to see them extend their gold lead, Yeso. Try a 6,000 gold Baron power play.
Not too shabby. I like the idea there for Lava. Unfortunately, they weren't quite able to close the trap there quickly enough. Lava in that flank position, thanks to the teleport, but a little too risky. I think the right choice from him to back away, cut his losses at that point. So, look, beautiful time here for our gold grab. Look at relatively close all throughout this game, and VKS taking over at 24 minutes.
Just an unbelievable clip, and a bad goes to worse for Los Grandes, because not only are they now staring down a 3-item Kai'Sa, 3-item Viego, 3-item Jax, they've got to fight for Soul. You have no other option. Hextech Soul, the strongest one in the game. Los Grandes, they have to find a pick before this fight even starts. They have to keep Natuno alive, because if he gets chain CC like that again, this game is going to end very quickly.
I mean, if you think Static Shiv is annoying, imagine Static Shiv and Hextexel on top of each other with a
God, I couldn't even
very
imagine.
Powerful Kai'Sa. You might not have to imagine much longer, Hawk, as Gigo split pushing topside. There really isn't anybody that can match him in the 1v1. Meanwhile, BKS here at this strike.
Los
have
on it.
Started it.
Yeah, Los Grandes, they're going to be forced, though, to just hard commit to this objective. We're checking out the fans right now, as I assume the fight has started.
Yep, that's Bull trying to get into the back line. Just absolutely gets melted, though, by Trigo. And they're going to look to chase everybody else down. Brell, flash.
Trigo's in.
Looking to get onto Lava. Natuno's going to fall. It's a double kill for Trigo. And now looking for more. Ranger's going to fall. Their killing spree for Gigo. And it's just Lava remaining. Can they secure the quadra kill? It does not matter. The Charm will land onto Grell. Flash away from Lava. And all of BKS have Lava and the Los Grandes base in their sights. The lockdown means nothing as down he goes. It's an ace for Trigo and Cade Stars.
The Cade Stars may have faltered in week 2, but week 3, it's a shellacking of Los Grandes. They gave us some excitement, but the result is the same. Vivo Cade Stars 3-2 record.
Wow, I feel honestly a lot after that game, the way I felt after Champions.
I feel
Select
a lot of
this game,
things too,
Champions
because
Select
that was a crazy game.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna bring Trajan in.